Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of RLC's Virtual Soccer Camp. We're so happy that you're able to join us again. All right, I'm here again, Vicar Seth Krieger with my helpers. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Josh. Hey, I'm Derek. I'm Juan.
Awesome, and we are going to continue to teach you more and more about soccer and more about Jesus as camp goes along. You remember our theme for camp? Who saves?
Jesus saves.
Awesome job, you guys. All right, let's get started with our next day's skill video.
One of the key parts of passing, you want to use the inside of your foot, in the middle of your foot, and you want to strike the middle of the ball and follow through. That way the ball stays on the ground and does not get in the air. That way it is easier for your teammate to trap the ball and stop it.
When you're trapping the ball, the best thing to do is to think about it like a big egg almost, and you don't want to break the egg, so you don't want to stop it really hard. You want to stop it with a soft touch, so that way when the ball comes to you and you're trying to trap it, you can get it right where you want it.
So if you have a teammate who's running, you can pass the ball in front of him. That way he runs to the ball and does not have to stop and get the ball.
All right, everybody, great job. I'm glad you were able to join us today to learn more about passing. Hope you remember everything that we taught you today. Take a lot of time to practice. But for right now, let's go inside and join Pastor Strutz for a message from the Bible.
Who saves? Jesus saves. Thanks for joining us for day 2 of our soccer camp, and our Bible lesson today is really cool. We'll see how Jesus saved 3 men from a fiery furnace. We'll see that just as Jesus saved them, Jesus saved us by dying on the cross, because who saves? Jesus saves. Come along and join us. Who saves?
Jesus saves.
Jesus saves. Thanks for joining us for another Bible lesson today. We're going to see today how Jesus saved 3 very special people. Now, their names are kind of unusual, so we might have to practice, okay? Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, okay? I'll say those again. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Can we try saying their names together? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These guys were actually friends of Daniel, and they lived in the same time and place as Daniel, and they had the same problem. There was a king who wanted them to worship a false god. So it's not the same king that we heard about yesterday. This guy's, he has an even longer name. His name is Nebuchadnezzar. Imagine if you have to write that out in penmanship class 5 times. Well, Nebuchadnezzar built a very tall statue of gold. And he told everyone, gather around the statue of gold, and we're going to play some music, and when you hear the music, bow down and worship the statue of gold. And so they built this statue, and they told everyone what to do, and when they heard the music, everybody bowed down. Huge crowds of people, except for our 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They didn't bow down because they were only going to worship the true God. Now, Nebuchadnezzar kind of liked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he said, you know, guys, I'll give you another chance. When you hear the music, you bow down, and if you don't bow down, we're going to throw you into a fiery furnace. And then what God will be able to rescue you from the king's hand? Okay? So they played the music again, and everybody bowed down except for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the king said, send those guys here to me. And so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego went to talk to the king, and he said, what's the deal? Why don't you guys bow down and worship the image of gold that I made? And they said, oh, king, we only worship our true God. We don't bow down to any image of gold or any other god. And the king said, I'm going to throw you in the fiery furnace. And they said, oh, king, the God we serve is able to save us from your hand. And even if he doesn't save us from your hand, we are still going to worship him because he will save us forever in heaven. Right? Because who saves?
Jesus saves.
Jesus saves. Well, when the king heard Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego say they weren't going to bow down, he got very angry at them, and he ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter, and he had them thrown inside. And you know what happened? The fire was so hot that the people who brought Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to the fire, they died because the fire was so hot. But you know what they noticed? Someone looked at the fiery furnace, and they didn't see 3 people in there. They saw 4. And they said, one of these people looks like an angel. And that's what God did. Just like God sent an angel to close the mouths of the lions, God sent an angel to keep Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego safe from the fire. The king told them to come out, and when they came out of the fire, none of their clothes were burned, none of their hair was singed, they didn't even smell like smoke. Boy, if you go around a campfire, you smell like smoke, right? These guys were in this hot furnace, and they were totally fine because God saved them. Because who saves?
Jesus saves.
Jesus saves, right? And that's how we end every one of our lessons, by hearing again and again that Jesus saves us by dying on the cross. Just like he saved Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace, Jesus saved us from the fires of hell by dying on the cross and taking away all of our sins. Because who saves?
Jesus saves.
Jesus saves. Well done. Okay.
Hello again, everybody. Vicar Seth Krieger here, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined us today for our second day of Virtual Soccer Camp. Hope you guys learned a lot. We loved having the opportunity to teach you more about soccer. Hope you're able to practice your passing a whole lot today. And don't forget everything that Pastor Strutz taught you about our friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Because who saves? Jesus saves. Now don't forget to check out the link either in the description below the video or provided above. We've got some projects, coloring sheets, and a new snack for you guys to try today. Hope you guys are able to enjoy those. Thank you so much again for joining us. See you again tomorrow for our next day of virtual camp.